Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to Michelle After Dark Live. I don't often do lives. I've just been reading the chat, like behind the scenes, and somebody said, it was a while ago, but somebody said that, oh, I don't believe Michelle has ever done a live. I have. I used to do loads of lives over on my other channel, before this channel was born, really. I used to do 1 or 2 lives a week, sometimes more, but I've kind of got out of the habit. When I got COVID in May, that's when I got out of the habit, because I couldn't concentrate. I couldn't read. I had COVID brain for the longest time. So, but I have done some lives on this channel. But what I want to do today is just answer questions and maybe dispel some rumors. Like, there's so much nonsense going on now in the Summer Wells case that I thought it would be a good time to just sit and answer questions. I did have a little bit of an ulterior motive, though, because I got up late this morning. I only woke up at 9:20, and that's just not me at all. But I just didn't feel like recording a video. So I thought, you know what, this could be a good time to just sit and chat. So that's where we are. So we've already got a super chat come in from Joshua Robinson. Thank you so much, Joshua. You're a supporter of the Crime Story Sundays, and that's over on my other channel, Michelle Walks, if you're new here. I do have 2 channels. I have this one, this is my main channel, and then I have Michelle Walks, which I do a true crime series every week called Crime Story Sunday, and we do a different historical case every week. And I've got a really good one this week. But yeah, got a new member, Miss Leah. Thank you for becoming a member. Rennie J, thank you for becoming a member. And I did see another super chat as well further down. Here we are. Carol, thank you very much. Huge fan from Maine. Been watching my channel grow, natural detective and storyteller. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm glad that I can help your anxiety. That's cool. So I don't think I've missed anybody else. Forgive me if I do. If I do miss, forgive me, because I appreciate every donation that people give, but I'm a bit rusty with this, with StreamYard, so do forgive me. Anyway, welcome everybody, and I'll let some questions whilst people are coming in. Oh, another super chat here. Angelite. I should have brought my glasses. They're upstairs. I should have brought my glasses. Thank you so much for the donation. And another new member, Lynn, thank you so much for becoming a member. You are now a secret agent. I only have 1 member tier, and that's of secret agents. So you are my secret agents. And another new member, Teddy, thank you so much. I'll get to the end of the chat in a sec, just to check I've not missed anybody. No, that's everybody, I think. So I want to show you this while people are just coming in. Oh, Kathy, you're in Kingsport. Oh, wow. Kingsport, Tennessee. Brilliant. Good stuff. Got some local people in. That's great. Minnie, you read my mind. You absolutely read my mind. Because I'm just about to talk about that whilst people are coming in, getting settled, getting a brew, getting a snack, and just settling down to listen. I was going to show you something from findsummerwells.com. Thank you for the super chat, Sally. Thank you so much. Another, oops, my screen's gone all dodgy. There we are. Thank you for becoming a member, Christy. That's very much appreciated. Okay. Right. Let me share my old screen here, just in case you haven't seen this. So this is on findsummerwells.com, and there's been a few new posts on here. So this is from the 10th. What day are we today? 11th. So rumours Candice has not opened a Cash App or GoFundMe account recently. Doesn't mean to say she doesn't have one. She's just not opened one recently. She also has not posted any comment, post or message asking for money and help. Please share this. Well, I'm sharing it, Tim. There we go. I'm sharing it, Tim. And it's this post, apparently, that's a fake. I don't know. I don't know what people think. I have been to that Facebook address. I have been there. And there's not much there. There's not much to see. So it could be a fake. I don't know. It could be a fake. What is this site? It's rubbish. Tim, sort this site out. Why does it have this big? Why does this big banner not disappear? There we go. And if you want to write to Donald Wells, then this is how you do it. If anybody fancies writing to inmate Donald Wesley Wells, those are the instructions. I'll just give you a heads up, though, that that they don't just monitor mail in jails, they also save them all, and they go in a file somewhere. And if it's ever released, right, if it's ever released, then it will be of immense joy for people who are able then to read all of your letters, all of the undying love that you have for Don Wells will be made public. So just bear that in mind. In the early days of this channel, Leanne says, no thanks. Yeah, well, I'm not going to write to him either. But the early days of this channel, if you remember me when I did Chris Watts videos, I went through the entire discovery from the Watts case. And there's a lot of pages in the discovery files, which are letters that were sent to Chris Watts when he was in Wells County Jail, when he was awaiting sentence, before he went to his nice, comfy, permanent home in Dodge in Wisconsin. And they are hilarious. They are hilarious. I have 2 or 3 videos. Go right back to the beginning of this channel, and you'll see them. Absolutely hilarious they were, honestly. So I think I had some new information. Thank you so much, Harsh Reality. Thank you. Another new member. Thank you so much. Another new member. Oh, you're all secret agents. There's going to be more secret agents than just regular people. Thank you so much, Teresa. Thank you so much, Mary Jane. Corrine, with much appreciation for your hard work and sharp mind. Greetings from Austria. Oh, Austria, you're not too far. Well, I was going to say you're not too far from me, but that's very silly. At least you're in the same continent as me anyway. You're like 75% of my viewers are from either America or Canada. So I'm always mindful of like the time difference. Like it's 6:10 p.m. for me. So for some of you guys, it's going to be like morning, isn't it? So thank you for the $9.99. That's very, very generous for that super sticker. Thank you so much. Have I missed anybody? Have I missed anybody? No, I think we're up to Christy. I think Christy was the last one. Okay, so I'm going to go down to the another new member, I think. I'm getting myself confused already, and we're only 10 minutes in. All righty, so I'm going to scroll down to the bottom of the chat. Thank you, Laurie. Thank you, Oh, I've already shown yours. Oh, I'm confused. I am confused. Confused.com. Okay, I'm going to scroll down to the bottom and I'm going to try and pick out some questions now. So, if there are any. Up the road from me in Manchester. Hey, you are. My son, my youngest son, is actually in Manchester at the moment. He's gone to visit his girlfriend. She lives in Manchester. It's not too far. 8 p.m. in Estonia. Estonia, Europe? I think it is. Okay. Yeah. Need almost 600 likes. Come on, guys. Yeah. Like up the stream. Right. Questions. Let me focus. I don't do focusing well. So don't expect me ever to do like 7-hour live streams. There's no way in the world that I could sit and focus for 7 hours. I don't know how people do it, honestly. I do not know how they do it. Please drop the join link for iPhone users. Don't know how to do that. I can try. I don't know if it'll work, but I can definitely try. Here we go. Incoming. If that doesn't work, then I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. Thank you, the dummy blondes. Thank you for the super chat. Need a muddy dog walking. Oh, dog washing. Like I said, I should have got my glasses. Dog washing vid. I need pointers. My bathroom, the reason why I haven't done one of those, because quite a few people have asked, is my bathroom is really small. Like I shower them. I just put them in the shower. And it's really small. And I'm not sure how I would film it because there's no way to put my phone, because the bath's like along one wall with the shower in it. So it'd have to be behind me. I don't know how I would do it because it's such a small room. So I have thought about it, and I think people would find it hilarious, especially Tilly. She looks hilarious in the bath. It's just the logistics of it in my house. So I don't know. I could pull it off without you just seeing like the back of me, which wouldn't be worth it, would it? Sherfy is Shady. Shady Sherfy. Hey, that's what we're going to call him from now on. Shady Sherfy. You are right. Oh, that's a good question. Who do I think will crack first? Honestly, I don't think either of them will crack. I do not think either of them will crack. I might be wrong. It obviously depends on what they have to crack about, because there's always that possibility. Don't shoot me. There's always that possibility that they are innocent. Look, I'll put my hands in the air and say, I have more suspects now, like in my own little mind, than I've had in the whole time that I've been following this case, and I've been following it since day one. And I was focused so long and so hard on Donald first, and then Candice, and then all three of them, that I became very tunnel visioned. So if you'd asked me that question a month ago, or maybe 6 weeks ago, I would have had a very different answer, and I would have said, I think Donald would crack first. But no, I really don't know, because I don't know that Donald knows anything. I honestly don't know that Donald knows anything. And I think it all hinges on what Candice and Grandma know. Because they do know more. There's that timeline lag that's just impossible to fill, other than there being something else there that they're not saying. But Grandma certainly won't crack. She's a hard nut, right? She's hard, right? She's a hard lady, and she's clever. Right? That's why she hasn't spoken out. She's clever. And Candice, I think if the rumours are true that Grandma is going to leave state, then there would be more chance that Candice would crack, because she'd be on her own. But if Grandma stays there, I don't think they will. I don't think they will. But I might be wrong. I might be completely wrong. Completely wrong. But thank you for becoming a new member. I've got another super chat as well that's popped up. A couple, actually. Hi from Toronto, 1:10 p.m. That was like 5 minutes ago now, so it's not that now, is it? It's not that now, is it? Here we go. Thank you, Simply Stranger, for the $10. Thank you for being the sun in the... Oh, we don't get much sun here in the UK, so, you know, you have to grab it when you can. You have to grab it when you can. You really do. You really do. Oh, what are my thoughts regarding Reverend Donna? So Reverend Donna Serafina. I don't follow any of the psychics. Now, again, don't shoot me, because I know loads of you do, and that's fine. It's just my personal choice that I don't follow any of the psychic channels. It's not because I don't believe that people have a gift. Some people absolutely do have a gift. I did a video a while back, not that long ago now, about my views on psychics, like generally speaking, because I had so many questions in my comments about Reverend Donna. I don't know enough about her to be able to give you an answer as to whether I believe she's genuine or not. I did listen to one of Cher's lives when she played one of I think it would have been Reverend Donna's latest reading, and honestly, I had to turn it off, not because I dislike Reverend Donna, but because it was so horrible to listen to, and I thought, I don't have to listen to this, because she's not speaking factually. None of us know what's happened to Summer, and if it turns out that she's a fake, then that's absolutely abhorrent that she's spreading things like that. If it turns out that she's right, then she's right, and it's absolutely horrific what's happened to Summer. We know whatever's happened to Summer, you know, it's going to be horrible, whatever it is. But I've chosen not to listen to it for now. That's just my choice. So I guess I'm neutral for other people. It's like up to you what you watch. But for me, I don't want to watch. I don't want to listen. Okay. Is Don really in segregation? Apparently so, Miss Leah. Apparently he is. It's been reported in the Rogersville Review. It's been is there other sources that have said it? I know it's definitely been in the Rogersville Review anyway. So it's in the media. It's not just an internet rumor. The reason why he's in segregation, I speculated on yesterday in my video. I'm only speculating that they're going to want to keep him segregated because he's high profile, You know, he's been shouting his mouth off on YouTube. He's been on Dr. Phil. People will want to have a go at him. They will. But I've been seeing comments today saying that they do that everywhere. Like in that jail, every inmate is segregated until it's proven that they don't have COVID, which is very practical of them, and that makes absolute sense. So yes, he is in segregation, but how long he'll stay there is an open question. You've got this at Emily, but I'm going to have a go at answering this one. Can they be charged with child neglect because of the boys? I'm going to have a go at it, but I can't answer it. I guess it depends what they know behind the scenes. I guess it depends on what the CPS have found out from the boys and what law enforcement are doing behind the scenes. There's certainly children who are a lot more badly treated than the Wells kids were. And we know so many children. I mean, you know, cases that I've been talking about over on Michelle Walks recently, you know, Harmony Montgomery, Serenity McKinney, Cody Bigsby, who Corey Bigsby, Cody's dad's now been charged with 7 counts of child abuse. It's been upgraded from child neglect to child abuse. So I don't know what's going on there. So there's so many kids, and in the UK we get them as well. We've had Arthur Labino Hughes. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of him. He was big news in the UK. Terribly let down by the system here, and we get them in the press semi-regularly, all too regularly. So the Wells kids, in comparison, unless there's things going on that we don't know, I don't know. I don't know, honestly. I don't know. Okay. Biggest theory. I don't know what you mean by biggest theory. My theory at the moment is that something happened. I don't believe that the swimming hole or anything at all that happened earlier in the day makes a jot of difference. I don't believe she drowned. I've done videos on all of this stuff. I don't believe she drowned. I don't believe there was an accident like earlier on in the day. Everything is about what happened when they got home. And I think, like Occam's razor, I always go back to the simplest explanation, is that she went out to play. And the time lag that we have, that 2 hours, at least 2 hours that we have, it all hinges on that. And that's why Candice and possibly Grandma have got answers to give, because where were they? Where were they in those 2 hours? And what happened to Summer? I can speculate that she went out to play, and then what happened after that is an open question. Could she have had an accident, fallen down a ravine, and just been missed? Absolutely. Could she have wandered off and been abducted? Yes, absolutely. That's where I'm going with my thought process at the moment. But I think the biggest theory that in general, I think more people have that she had an accident that's been covered up. I see a lot. And somebody did a poll in my Facebook group a little while ago, not long ago, and listed kind of what do you think's happened to Summer, and listed some options. And by far, the people in my Facebook group, now obviously they're just people in my Facebook group, but there is like 5.5K members, so you know it's a decent size of group. And by far the most popular theory was accident. But I I don't know. I don't know. Right, I'm going to skip down because I'm missing lots and lots and lots of comments. But I'm going to answer this one. Everyone is worried about mom leaving while daddy's locked up. My thoughts are, how is she allowed to leave the state with her boys in state care? I'm not a lawyer, and I'm not familiar with why she wouldn't be able to leave the state if her boys are in state care. I don't know. I mean, she can definitely leave because even as a suspect in Summer's disappearance, she can leave. You know, she's got freedom of movement. Now, whether I honestly think she could leave. I do, unless somebody who understands the law in Tennessee can tell me different. There was another good questions. Debbie, do you think Candice has guilty knowledge? I think she has knowledge of something. I think she has more knowledge than what she said. Now, what that is, I do not know. Like I said before, if at the very least, she has to be able to account for all of that missing time, because the story that she's given so far, you know, the planting flowers, the candy from grandma, the washing the hands, going in the house, 2 minutes later, she was looking for Summer. Come on now, right? They got home at what? 3:30 at the latest. And then Jodie Sue heard them calling for Summer just shortly after 6. And then that fits with the 911 calls coming in at 6:26 and the dispatch call, which is available, publicly available. I've played it in a number of videos, saying that she's been missing about 10 minutes. So might be a little bit longer than 10 minutes by the time dispatch gets the message, but it fits with what Jodie Sue said in that she heard them shouting for Summer just after 6. So where's all that time gone? Where is all that time? And I do remember Don saying, and it would have been in the early days, I think it was when he was on Cher's channel a lot, that the TBI had asked Candice to think about what she did. And she filled in that she did laundry and they had something to eat. That's just from my memory of what Donald said. Now, he might be completely lying, or he might not know, or Candice might have told him some BS. So guilty knowledge, yes, but what that is, I have no idea. I don't know. Oh, there you go. There's a tip for iPhone users. I've got an iPhone. I should know this. Open YouTube in Safari, then go to my channel page, and then you can join. So you mustn't be able to join from the YouTube app. I don't watch YouTube on my phone, so I don't know, even though we don't know anything about what is happening with the boys in CPS care, and I think that's absolutely right. I don't talk about the boys a lot on my channel. I have, when things have been said about what's happening, I have got a few videos where I've mentioned the boys, but I would prefer us not to speculate too much on the boys' experience. I would like to believe that they're being well cared for and that they are being, they're getting therapy, they're getting all the help they need, they're with good foster families. I've heard that two of them are together and one of them is separate. I cannot vouch for the accuracy of that, and neither can anyone else, because those CPS files are private and should remain private, for the safety and for the just for the dignity of those boys. You know, they're going through a hell of a lot of change. I can't imagine what those boys are thinking and feeling. I just hope that they're well and they're being well cared for. That's all I care about, honestly. No, I don't think the Wells basement is for trafficking business. I don't know. I don't know, but I don't think so. Honestly. Right, and definitely I'm going to scroll. So if you've asked a question, then feel free to ask it again, because I've just done a big scroll. And just to pick up these super chats here. Tracy, thank you so much. Love my channel. I'm beautiful. I'm very old now, so thank you so much for being very kind. I'm doing another big scroll because I'm so far behind. So far behind. Thank you for becoming a member, Roberta. And thank you so much, Miss T. No message. If you want to super chat me, and you are by no means obliged to, but if you want to, that's a good way to ask a question, because it comes up in nice colours and it catches my eye. You know, your $4.99, $5 comes up as green, and then we've got red, we've got yellow, and they're nice bright colours. So it's a good way to ask a question. But I am trying my very best to answer as many questions as I can, but I've got the slow mode on, but even so, the chat is still going pretty quickly. Hit the likey. Thank you, Sunshine Baby, for reminding people. Where are the doggies? Okay, so we've got Tilly's over here behind me. Don't know whether you can see her. Cassie, no idea. She's not in the room. She'll probably be upstairs. And then my two golden oldies are here in the hospice area. Jack, the poodle, is doing his usual thing, which is sleeping. And then Bella is looking at me right now. She's heard her name. Bella's 15 and a half, and she's pretty sprightly for her age. She can't walk very far, but she's pretty sprightly for her age. But Jack isn't. Jack's a very, very old man now, so I think there's going to be a difficult decision. I don't want to talk about it. There's going to be a difficult decision being made quite soon. Thank you so much for the $1.99 super sticker. I know these are old now. Thank you, Tracy, for becoming a secret agent. Thank you for becoming a secret agent. That's great. I had another one. I know I've got another one. Right, there we go. Thank you. I can't read that. Honest AF. Thank you from Missouri. Never know how to say that. Missouri. Doesn't sound right. Doesn't sound right in my head. But blimey. Thank you for the super sticker, Sonny McGiggles. That's a great name. That's fantastic. Thank you for becoming a member, Reverend Cynthia Hughes. I couldn't do this for 7 hours, you guys. I honestly couldn't. I couldn't do this for 7 hours. Patricia, would you ask some of the ladies to stop jumping all over Lisa K. Roots? I'm so sorry, Lisa. I don't know how to pronounce your surname. I like reading what she has to say for the discussion. Yeah, I suspect this is regarding Facebook and what's gone on in Facebook over the last 24 hours. I got very angry. I very rarely lose my cool. I'm pretty chill normally. Not somebody who'll take things to heart. But I was angry last night, I've got to say. And it started off with people being really offensive, and I am going to use that word, offensive, to Geordie Sue, and it's not on. It doesn't matter what you think about any person. Reading what I read last night, right, and I let some of the comments stand and just lock the threads. But then when somebody kicked off because I removed a comment that really did break the group rules, that was it. And I thought, I'm going to play hardball now. And then I saw some comments, and I wasn't sure what it was relating to. This was sometime later, regarding Lisa. And it seems to be that there's rumblings throughout that group. And whenever Lisa says something, because I truly believe Lisa does know the Bly family. She's been on Zav Girl and did a really good interview quite a while ago now. And she had some really interesting information to share. And I don't know why people are being like just rumbling along, just negative. Why don't you try listening? And you might learn something, because every single person that has come out, every single person without one exception, that has come out and said that they either know the family or they've got information, they've been attacked. They've been attacked. And this has been going on since day one. Why? Why are people doing this? Don't we want people who know the family to feel comfortable enough to share what they feel comfortable sharing? Because we all might learn something. And if somebody like Lisa has the ability and wants to share her information and debunk some of the nonsense that's going on, wouldn't you rather listen to somebody who knows what's going on, or at least has some information, than the constant conspiracy theories and absolute horse doo-doo? Right? Why are people more comfortable listening to conspiracy theories and absolute BS as opposed to people who actually have things to say that may well be factual? And if you don't believe them, well, that's on you. And if it turns out that Lisa, Geordie Sue, or whoever else has come out and spoken is lying and has fooled everybody, well, I'll be the first person to say, look, I'll owe my ounce of power's fooled. But why not give people the benefit of the doubt and at least listen to them, rather than jumping on them and driving them off? It doesn't make sense. And I think we'd have had a lot more information from people who have got things that could assist, at the very least, in debunking some of the nonsense. I wouldn't expect anybody to share anything that law enforcement only should have. And I wouldn't want that kind of information being shared on social media, because if it's part of the active investigation, then that's where it should stay. But when people are willing to spend their time to educate others and say, no, actually, in the very nicest way, say, no, actually, that's not true. This is my experience, or this is what I've witnessed. This is what I've seen. Why jump all over them? That was very long-winded, but I hope that's helped in some way. Hope it has. Purple Summer Moon. Thank you for becoming a secret agent. That's very, very kind of you. Thank you, Mike, for the $10. No question, but thank you anyway. I've got more up at top, so don't think if you super chatted, don't think that I've forgotten you. I haven't. I've just kind of stopped partway through to answer this one because it's a good one. Did they have time to hide the body if it was an accident? This is the thing I keep coming back to. This is the thing that I can't get my head around. It's not so much that they didn't have the time, because they could have done. It's right. Let's put yourself in a situation. Right, I'm going to give you a scenario. Right. Let's say something really bad happened, whether it be at the swimming hole or when they got home. Something really bad happened, and sadly, Summer passed away. And rather than ringing 911 and doing the thing that the vast majority of parents will do, they decided to cover it up. It's an accident, so it's not like it's pre-planned. It's not like you've already decided where you're going to take the body, what you're going to do to dispose of that body in a way that absolutely no one would ever find it, right? So you've no time to think. You're panicking. The fact that you're even contemplating covering up an accident means that you're panicking, right? So if it happened earlier in the day, then yeah, there's plenty of time. There'd be several hours to think about it, to move that body. If it happened, let's say 4:30, let's say that was the scream, right? And it was Candice discovering Summer dead, or it was Summer having an accident, then you've still got a couple of hours, well, an hour and a half, before you've got to then come back with nobody seeing you, come back and then put a fake persona on. We know Candice can act, so I don't doubt that she couldn't pull this off, but to then, you know, raise the alarm and it all kick into action, right? So yes, there's time, but when you're panicking, how would Candice and Grandma be able to find a place that's accessible to them in the time they've got available? Because I don't see, right? Candice is out, Grandma Candice is out of the picture because she got a bad knee, right? She's not going to be hiking up any ridges or down any ravines, right? I'm not being funny, but Candice doesn't strike me as a hiker either. So it's not like they could drive, let's say, 10 miles down the road and then hike into the woods and find a spot and dump her body. If she'd have been left in the vicinity, I'm absolutely confident that she would have been found. All of those agencies that were out there for weeks, the searches that have happened since, the cadaver dogs, you've got to also factor in the cadaver dogs, because if you've got a dead body in your vehicle, after about an hour and a half, it becomes very reliable that a cadaver dog in that enclosed space would be able to detect the smell of death. So it's not like they could have gone very far with the dead body, or else a cadaver dog would have found the smell. So it's not so much the time factor, it's the logistics of it, the practicalities of it, how they could have done it without ever getting caught. Are they really criminally masterminded that much that they can fool? Was it something like 110 agencies that have been involved in the search for Summer Wells? Something like that. You know, the best technology was out there. Cadaver dogs have been out there. Has Candice really been able to fool all of those people? Come on now. I don't think I can't see it. And that's the thing that sticks for me. That's the thing that makes me believe it wasn't an accident. I could be completely wrong, but I hope that answers the question. Thank you, Sage Sleuth, for the $4.99. My biggest theory is Summer was Candice's competition. Easiest way would be to dress, jug roll, windows, wait, dump, hands off, and quick. 1 hour in that heat. So you're saying that Candice got rid of Summer because she was competition? I've heard that one. I can't disprove it. I can't discount it. but it's pretty radical. It's pretty radical to do that. But I can't discount it. So thank you, Colleen, for becoming a super duper secret agent. A Wolf, thank you so much for becoming a member. Thank you for the super sticker. I can't even read that. Pink something. You've got one of those strange fonts that means I can't read it. Thank you so much for the super sticker, DS. Oh, thank you, Mike. Thinks I'm pretty. Thank you. You've been very generous. Very generous. And this is incredibly generous. Thank you so much. For your beautiful babies, Tilly, Cassie, and the others. I will get them some treats. Actually, on that note, I've got lots of treats sitting down here to my left. And these have been sent via Tilly and Cassie's P.O. box. And I haven't got round yet to making the video that will go on Tilly's channel to show everybody what they've been getting over the last few weeks. So I will sit down and make that video. I promise. I'll sit down and make that video. And I'll put that $20 into their treat fund. I'm surprised they're not like big and fat, the amount of treats they get, because they really do get lots. Thank you so much, Jan. So happy to see you live. People must stop making up their own theories without evidence. So appreciate it. I agree. It's fine to have a theory, right? I've got theories. I've gone down rabbit holes, but the majority of the rabbit holes I've gone down, I've never spoken about, because if I go down, look, I've investigated the SDA Church, I've investigated Ali and Jose, and how many Jose Romans are there in the United States? It's like millions of them. Not quite, but still. But I've not made videos about them because I can't substantiate any of it with any factual basis. And that's why I don't make those kind of videos. However, we can speculate, we can, but we've got to make sure that the few facts we have fit with that theory. And also, if you find information that supports your theory, you've also equally got to find information, if you can, that refutes your theory, to be objective. So just going off like half-cocked and into some wild conspiracy and then making a video about it, simply just confusing people, then I don't like it. You won't see that on this channel, put it that way. Thank you, Rennie J, for the $5. What has been the most surprising thing you've learned about the Wells case? Oh, that's a good question. Most surprising thing. The thing that stands out to me that sets the Wells case apart from almost any other that I can think of is the amount of contact that we've had as viewers with the family, like with Dom's particularly, and then somewhat of Candice. And Brian Entin mentioned that when he went to Rogersville and did that little piece for News Nation Now, that he couldn't think of another case where the family have been so involved in social media. And I think that sets it apart from just about any other case that certainly I followed in the recent past. You know, it tends to be that the family will maybe speak out once or twice. They'll maybe do a press release, but they stay low profile. They tend to stay off social media because that's what law enforcement will tell them to do. The victim advocates will tell them not to read social media because it can get really, really, really nasty. It can get really nasty. You know, the Cleo Smith case, for example, the one from Australia. 60 Minutes Australia, the program, has put out a great, like, 1 hour special on the Cleo Smith case, and her mother and stepfather talked about how horrible it was on social media, how really horrible it was for them, because so many people were blaming them. And for that reason, I think families rightly tend to stay away from social media. But in the Wells case, that has not been, it's been completely the opposite. And whilst it's meant that it's created a massive amount of speculation, way more than any other case that I can think of, it has been positive in one respect, in respect for Summer, because it's got her parents on Dr. Phil. It's got her some national attention. What other case have you seen on Dr. Phil? Like that's currently a missing child, like Michael Vaughan from Idaho went missing just a month after Summer. He's now been missing 6 months. How many people talk about Michael Vaughan? If you make videos about Michael Vaughan, they'll get a quarter of the views, if that, of any video that anybody would put out about Summer Wells, because people are less invested. Harmony Montgomery, you know, horrible situation that she was in. You'll get a fraction of the attention. Like her case gets a fraction of the attention. And it's because her parents are so controversial. Summer's parents are so controversial. People are so heavily invested in the case now from all different angles. So, yeah, the attention's been positive in some respects, but that's the thing. That's the thing that has really, really surprised me. Nothing surprises me anymore. Nothing surprises me anymore with the Wells case. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for letting me know. I'm scrolling so quickly. Like, even though I've got this on slow mode, I can't read individual names. All right. So Jodie Sue, if you're still in, I appreciate what you're doing for the case, and keep on keeping on, girl. I do appreciate what you're doing, and the fact that you've been willing to speak out so candidly about what you're able to. And I'm really sorry that people feel that they need to attack, especially when it's related to someone's personal illness. That people should not have to show proof that they've got cancer. This is what it's come down to. This is what the world has come to. People should not have to show oncology appointments or show their scar to show that they've had surgery. No one should have to do that. So, dear me, rein it in. So I very much appreciate anybody who is prepared to speak out for Summer and tell us what experience they have, what they know. So yeah, just rein it in, people. You can be cynical, but you don't have to be nasty. And if you don't believe somebody, that's fine. Just don't read their posts. Don't listen to them, right? If you don't believe them, don't listen to them. But don't attack them for being ill, for God's sake. Honestly. Thank you, Robin. Jodie Sue Strong. Thank you. Thank you for the $10. And hey, Chasing Truth is in the house. Appreciate your videos and perspective. So do I. Likewise, Chasing. I do as well. I watch as many of your porch chats as I can. I don't watch every single one, I don't think. But I definitely check in on what you're up to, because you're one of the rational voices. You're one of the few rational voices in the Summer Wells case. And although I don't necessarily, like for the whole almost 8 months, I haven't necessarily agreed with everything you've said, and I'm sure you've not agreed with what I've said. I think it's good to have a diversity of opinion that comes off in a rational manner. And I think as time's gone on, I think yours and mine opinions have started to converge a little bit more, certainly than they were, I think. But I appreciate Chasing Truth a lot, and subscribe to Chasing Truth if you haven't done so, because she's great. Okay, who else? Right, I'm going to do another big scroll. So if you've asked a question and I've missed it, then feel free to ask it again. Or if you are intending to super chat, then you don't have to. Please don't think that I'm here only answering questions from people who give super chats. That's not the aim of this little, I need to say session then, but it's going back to my teaching days, that. I don't want to be here just answering people's super chats. But if you are intending super chat, then you stick a question on it, and then you'll definitely get it answered. Thank you for becoming a member, Susan. That's fantastic. Another secret agent. Thank you, Little Buttercup. Little Buttercup. Thank you for the super sticker. Thank you for becoming an agent, a super agent, secret agent, Marjorie. This is taxing my brain, this. How do people do 7-hour lives? How do they do it? They must have so much stamina. Like, are they like swigging Red Bull behind the scenes? Is that how you do it? Like Ziggy and Prayer Garden and those who do the really long lives. Ziggy got like a crate of Red Bulls by the side of her and she's swigging them. I couldn't cope, honestly. Foggy Mom, thank you so much. That is incredibly generous. Incredibly generous. Thank you. Jamie, sorry. Thank you for your many videos. Love coffee and watching you and your dogs every morning. Yeah, I'm sorry for those of you who were like disappointed that you didn't see me in the woods this morning. I did go in the woods, but it was much later on. For those of you who've only just come in, I got up really late this morning. I couldn't sleep last night. I was wide awake till about 4 a.m. and I caught up on some of the podcasts and things that I've been kind of saving up. So I slept in till 9:20, and then I went out and thought, don't fancy doing a video today. And then my light bulb came on and thought, I've got the house to myself, apart from 4 dogs and 2 cats. My son's at his girlfriend's this weekend. So I thought, you know what? I've got a quiet house. I'll do a live stream and just answer as many questions as I can. But wow. So yeah, I'll be back tomorrow walking about the woods. Don't you worry. I'll be back tomorrow walking about the woods. Thank you so much, Bonnie. Is that Bonnie? I think there is so much more. We will be so shocked when the truth comes out. I agree. I don't think we know the half of what Ellie knows. And that's absolutely right. We shouldn't know. What's relevant to the investigation and eventually the justice that Summer deserves. It's not just about recovering her if she's deceased or rescuing her if she's alive. It's not just about that. It's about getting justice for Summer, and due process has to take its course, doesn't it? So what law enforcement are doing behind the scenes, I sincerely hope that they have a whole lot more than we do, and it could well turn out that there's a whole lot we have no idea about, and that every single one of us has been so wrong about what really happened. And that would be hilarious. I'd find that hilarious. Like, you know, in such a devastating case, it's such a horrible case when any small child's involved, it's horrendous, whatever the circumstances are. But I will raise a wry smile when we do find out eventually what has happened, because we could all be, every single one of us, be completely wrong. Helen, hey, Helen. Helen were you a mod? I don't remember if you were ever a mod on my other channel. I don't know. But Helen was always in my chats when I used to do regular lives on my other channel. So thank you for the £5. She's actually in my currency as well. If it does turn out that Little Summit was trafficked, do you think it's happened on previous occasions? If this was a trafficking scenario, as in the parents were renting her out, horrendous to think of, which was my top theory for the longest time. That is what I truly believed had happened. Then, yeah, I think it probably did happen more than once. And if it turns out that whatever happened to Summer is a result of that in some way, shape or form, then yeah, probably. I sincerely hope it isn't that. I sincerely hope that the parents are not involved. I sincerely hope they're not. Because I can't, however much I know, however much knowledge I've got, I struggle with familial trafficking. I just think it's absolutely disgusting. I know a couple of people personally who were friends of mine. I'm going back a long years ago now, but who were trafficked as children. One was a little boy. His mother used to sell him, rent him to men, sometimes groups of men, at the age of 6 for drug money. This was my friend. So I know it happens. It happens in my local area. It happens to my friends. Another friend, less of a friend, but a friend of a friend, really. Her stepdad was renting her out. He was basically advertising her from being the age of like 6, 7 years old to the age of 14 when she was too old. She was too old at the age of 14. And then he just started beating on her instead. So I'm under no illusions about what happens, what can happen. And I sincerely hope that wasn't Summer's experience. I sincerely hope it wasn't. But it's a possibility. It has to be a possibility. It has to be. I really do hope, though, that whatever happened, if she isn't with us anymore, and you know, 8 months down the line, it's incredibly unlikely that she's still alive. It does happen. There are those cases where people have been kidnapped as children and then resurface as adults, and they're alive, just scarred, but they're alive. It could be, but it's incredibly unlikely. So if she's dead, I hope that it was quick. I hope that she didn't go through months and months and months of torture in that way. So, Holly, can you speak to multi-generational alcoholism and abuse? How do you think we stop the cycle? That's a big question. I think that's too big a question for my little brain to contemplate answering in a short answer. I could probably do like a 2-hour lecture on it. How do we stop the cycle? I guess education and opportunity is giving people the treatment, the therapy, the support they need to get their own lives in order. and for them to become functional members of the community through addiction programs that work. Give them the opportunity not to be reliant on alcohol, and for many people, however good the services are, however good the therapies are, however good the support is, they've got to want to do it. They have absolutely got to want to do it. They've got 1,000% want to pay into that. Right, any forced rehab or anything like that will be a temporary fix. It'll be putting a sticking plaster on an open gaping wound. But for some people, it does work. And then when it does work, it means that then that brave person has broken the cycle for their children. That goes for any kind of abuse. I'm not necessarily just talking about alcoholism. I'm talking about abuse in the home, like generational abuse in the home. I'm talking about generational SA in the home. I'm talking about drug use. Any one of those things, right? There has to be investment from a whole support network, but most of all, that investment has got to come from that person who has to really want that to happen. And I don't know, it's an epidemic, isn't it? Epidemic. Really is. Thank you, Agent 99. A great name. For the $4.99 super sticker. Very much appreciated. I'm going to do another big scroll. Thank you for the Canadian dollars. I think that's Canadian. Is that Canadian dollars? No. Yeah, Canadian dollars. Thank you. That's very generous. Greetings from Vancouver. There you go. That answered my question. Never miss a video. Cuddles to Tilly and Cassie Springer. Cassie Springer has disappeared. She's not in the room at all. She's not happy. She's not happy when she doesn't get attention. So if I'm sitting talking, doesn't like it. She disappears. Thank you for the super sticker, Versi. Thank you. Thank you, Punky. I really should have brought my glasses downstairs. I'm just going to call you Punky. Thank you for all you do. Love from Cape Town, South Africa. Wow. Dolly's mom. Hey, thank you for the $10. Nice prize. Just came on. Here's my question. Do you think with Don's prison education, he knows what happened and he disposed of Summer? In a handoff from Candice. That's always a possibility. And I did a few videos in the summer, like August, September time, like talking about how it could possibly have been done. It was when Emma from Crime Stories Obsessed was released those Facebook Messenger posts from Grandma. And I do believe that Emma was talking to Grandma. I do believe it was Grandma. Might be wrong, but I do believe it was. And Grandma had said that it took them an hour and a half to get home from the time that photo was taken, the milk jugs photo. And that does not make sense. Now, I made videos on it explaining that, well, actually, it could be because they went, like, instead of just going home, like 5-10 minutes, they went to Jonesboro, handed Summer off to Don at 3 o'clock or 3:30, because he was away from work for like half an hour. Allegedly, that was the rumor that was going round at the time. And then they came back, which fills in some of that time. It fills in some of the missing timeline, and it explains what Grandma meant. But people probably rightly said maybe she just misunderstood the question. And she didn't mean it was 1.5 hours from when the photo was taken. It was 1.5 hours from some other time. I don't know. If there was a handoff, then I guess we'll find that out, because that will be one of the things that law enforcement will be able to at least attempt to track, because Candice had a phone, Grandma had a phone. Both of those phones have been checked. They'll have that digital evidence from those phones. So even though Grandma's truck didn't have GPS, they still had those phones. So what did they do? Like wrap them in tin foil or something so they didn't get any signal? I don't know. Anything's possible. Anything's possible. And I think probably Don would have more. If it was a handoff, then it was premeditated, wasn't it? So if it was a handoff that was premeditated, then Summer could be literally anywhere, right? If it was a handoff after a terrible accident at the swimming hole, then, and Don's in on it, then Don, I think Don probably knows the area way better than Candice does. And how did he do it though? Because the Subaru has got GPS, you know, his good buddy Starlink, and he's 7 alibis, right? Look, Don's got 7 alibis plus his good buddy Starlink. So there's no way in the world that he could be involved. I'm joking, but I'm being semi-serious. That, you see, the more steps you put into a theory, the less likely it is. Because if any one of those links in that chain is broken, if any one of those links can be proven as didn't happen, then the whole theory has to be rethought. So that's why I just abide by Occam's razor. Occam's razor doesn't always happen, right? Because sometimes crimes are committed that are incredibly complex, incredibly well planned, and people get away with it because they've been really well planned. They've outfoxed the law, right? They fought the law, and the law didn't win this time. Anything's possible, but until we know more, I think I'm going to stick with Occam's razor. But I don't know. Like I said previously, we could all be wrong, and we could all be incredibly surprised by what the real answer is, and we could all be wrong. So I don't know. Mike, thank you for the $10 super sticker. Is that $10? My eyes are going so bad now. Sage Sleuth again in there with the $4.99. I agree. Cancer, it took me off. I'm so far back in the chat, guys. I'm so sorry. Should not have to answer. Yeah, I agree. No one should have to answer. I've got health problems, and not cancer, not got cancer, never had cancer. And way back, going way back, like what, would it be 3 years now? 2.5 years. There was a bunch of people online that I was battling with, and I used to have to prove that I had normal vitamin panel, normal everything. And I went and got like a health check at my doctor's, and actually showed the printout online that my bloods were normal. And why did I have to do that? Why did I have to do that? I chose to do it. It was my choice to do that, right? It was to get one up on those people. That's all it was. But no one should be asked. No one should be asked to provide evidence that they've got cancer or any other medical condition for that. Any other medical condition. Stupid. Unless it's your employer, right? Then probably, yeah, you do have to provide evidence that you're sick, probably, if it's your employer. But anybody else, no. Thank you so much, Patty. Thank you, Miss Michelle. Little something for the fun friends. Fun friends. I can't read. I'm now lost the ability to read. Yeah, these animals are going to get fat. I'm going to have to start like exercising them more, you know. Not like, you know, it's not like they don't ever get walks, you know. I'm just start exercising them more to run off all of these treats that they're getting. Okay, right. Oop. Robbie girl, I think. Robbie girl. Maybe. Robbie girl, yeah. It's easier to read it off the other screen than that screen. No question here. Just want to know. Think you are great. Oh, thank you so much for the $10 and the kind words. And we have another new secret agent. Wow. Cheryl, thank you for becoming a secret agent. Susan, thanks for the $5. Hi, Michelle. Did you see the video of Donna? She is psychic and saying Summer is buried in the building that Don was working on. I answered one of the very first questions that I answered in this live was about Donna. Somebody asked me a question about Donna. And I'll say that answer again, that I don't watch any of the psychic channels. It's not that I don't think that some people have a gift. I think they absolutely do. But I can't deduce who on the internet is genuine and who isn't. So I make the choice not to watch any of the psychics simply because I don't want to listen to graphic accounts of what might have happened to Summer, because I get upset by it. But more than that, I think it's if somebody is prepared to be a scammer to that degree, I don't want to be part of it. I don't want to give that person a view. I don't want to spend my time listening to that. If it turns out that what Donna or another psychic has said is true, then so be it. But I don't want to listen to it. I know full well how bad it could have been for Summer. I hope, as I said just before, that if she is deceased, if she's no longer with us, that a death was quick. But I don't want to listen to graphic accounts from psychics. I don't. And that's just my personal choice. I don't listen to it. I did catch on one of Cher's lives, she was playing. I don't know whether, I think it was Donna's latest reading, and I turned it off. Didn't want to listen to it. Turned it off. Thank you so much, Kay, for the £8.99. Oh, you're in my currency as well. £8.99. Thank you. Thank you, Jenny. Absolutely awesome. You are as well, Jenny. You're awesome too. My kittens love watching Cassie Springer and Miss Tillington. I tell you what, I get so many comments about people's cats watching. I think Cassie particularly, because she's so like all over the place. I think cats tend to just focus on it. Mine don't. Mine not interested. Mine don't. They're not interested. Thank you, Jenny, for the $5. Very much appreciated. Thank you for the £10, Tina. Hi, Michelle. Could be transaction gone wrong. Person was too. Oh dear. I'm not going to read that out, but could have been. I possibly. It's not my top theory anymore. But we know these things happen. We know they do. But I don't want to think about it anymore. And if it was a transaction gone wrong, then I hope whoever's responsible, every single person involved, gets the full force of the law. you know, to the strength that the law will give it. I hope they bury them under the prison. I hope so, but I hope it wasn't that. I hope it wasn't that. I really hope it wasn't that. Got a good question here. What are your thoughts on the Wells turning down media manager offered by law enforcement and choosing Tim Mullins, aka Jimmy Gold? First of all, he's not Jimmy Gold. Tim Mullins is not Jimmy Gold. I'll say again, Tim Mullins is not Jimmy Gold, right? Those sites that pull up people's aliases, more than likely, are just pulling information from the internet, pulling it together into one profile. So in some instances, it's people who've lived there previously, or it's people who live it like an associate of. It's these alias that, like, I don't know what these sites are called. Like, there's I don't know. I know where people get them from anyway. And I know how those sites work. So when you see these aliases and it comes up with things that draw your attention, think it through. Think out how that information is working, right? However, I'll answer your question. I think they're silly to turn down, certainly victims advocates. I think they're silly to have turned down that, because I know that when I needed, we call them family liaison officers in the UK, when my son was killed, we had 2 family liaison officers who were police officers on the case, but they act as the liaison. They're kind of like your advocate in the legal system. They're your first port of call. They give you their mobile numbers, so you can always contact a person that you build up a relationship with. And they give you advice on dealing with the press and writing a press release, going to court. All of that stuff was hugely helpful. Now, I'm assuming that the victims advocates and the people who are there to support families in the US, it's something similar along those lines. And I think they're silly for turning that down. They're silly for turning that down. But yeah, they've done silly things. They've done a lot of silly things. That's not the silliest thing they've done. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. That's not the silliest thing they've done. Thank you for the $4.99, Betty. That's very much appreciated. Journey Angel. Journey. Oh, dear God. My eyes are so bad. I keep coming back to Candice saying she went downstairs and Summer was just gone. I think Candice found her passed away, either from the swimming hole, drugs, alcohol, punishment that went too far. A lot of people think the same. A lot of people are thinking along the same lines. But I'll refer you back to what I said before. If Summer passed away through any one of those things, where's the body? How did they manage to hide a body so successfully? That's what I can't get my head around. Whether Candice did it, Don did it, how did they do it? I can't get around that. I can't get around that. Thank you for the Canadian dollars 20. Thank you. Very generous lady. Lady Fox. Lady Fox. Oh, forgive me. I can't read. My eyes are so bad. I've been hearing this, right? I don't know where this started. Candice has got thousands, heard $90,000 in the bank. Why is she asking for more? Well, according to the Wells media manager, according to findsummerwells.com, which is the thing that's on your screen right now, this post that we've all seen doing the rounds, you know, a Facebook group that Candice supposedly was in. Would you care if I put a cash app? Apparently that is not. Apparently that's not true. Apparently that's fake. Now I don't know whether they think that's fake now because Candice has been caught out and it really was Candice, or it really is fake. I don't know. I don't know whether what money she's got in the bank, right? You know, none of us know what money she's got in the bank, and $90,000 in the bank. Well, good on her, because I don't have $90,000 in the bank, and I wish I did, and I'm sure that you wish you did as well. I can't see Candice having that amount of money in the bank, but who knows? Who knows? Who knows? I think it's just a rumor. I don't know. Thank you for the £5. Had this case happened here in the UK, what differences would we see? Love from up north. Love from up north. Don't know. I think we'd have seen. I think if the parents had been just as controversial as Summer's parents were, I think it quite possibly could have been very similar in terms of the social media furore about it. But as certainly on my channel, 75% of my viewers are either in the US or in Canada. So American cases have got generally much more popular. They hit social media, hit YouTube certainly faster and harder than UK cases will ever do. So in terms of from the social media angle, then the parents would have had to be really controversial for it to have really hit YouTube, but it would have been possible that YouTube would have been interested in it. From a legal standpoint, I think law enforcement would have been much more forceful in trying to, and obviously they couldn't control it, but trying to shut down as much as they could, the parents talking all over social media. What they could have done, I've no idea. I don't know. It's a good one. It's a good one. I mean, obviously the UK is a lot smaller than the US, so it probably would have been harder for them to get away for so long with whatever happened. It certainly would have been harder to conceal a body because we don't have those many miles of massive mountainous terrain. We do in some parts, like the top of Scotland, in the Welsh, some of the Welsh mountains are really high and desolate. But in the vast majority of the UK, it would have been a lot harder to hide a body, if indeed a body's been hidden, than it would have been in somewhere like rural Tennessee. So there's practical differences, but legally, I'm not sure there'd be too much difference. I don't know. Could be completely wrong because I'm not an expert, not a lawyer, either here in the UK or in Tennessee. So I'm only giving my opinion, and I don't really know. That's just speculations, really. Okay, doing a big scroll. Oh, Helen, back in again with the £5. Do you think there's any danger of Candice either drinking herself to death or overdosing? Definitely. 100%. I think that's a risk. If she's on her own, if grandma does decide to leave, if that's not a rumor and she does decide to leave, that is a distinct possibility. I hope she doesn't. I really hope she doesn't, but I suspect on her own, you know, it doesn't matter how much support she gets from a media manager or friends online. It doesn't matter. So I think that's a really strong possibility. I think she's going to have to be incredibly strong, incredibly brave to take the initiative not to go down that road. Is she strong enough for that? Is she prepared to go through that, to get clean and to not fall down that hole any further? I don't know, but it's my number one concern for Candice. And I will say I'm concerned for Candice because, look, right, first of all, from one human to another, I've got compassion for everybody. Whether they deserve it or not, I will give some compassion. But let's think about this logically. If she is responsible, if she knows exactly what happened to Summer, how is she going to speak? How are we ever going to know, law enforcement, or ever law enforcement going to get answers if Candice takes her own life, either accidentally or purposefully? So I think everybody should be wishing Candice well and hoping that she does not do that, if only for the sake of finding out if indeed Candice is responsible, finding out what happens to Summer, and for Candice to actually get genuine justice, like the law issue justice to her, not for her to take that way out, in my opinion. Anna from Sweden. I'm guessing that's Swedish krona. Is it a krona from Sweden? I don't know. But 50 of whatever currency. Thank you. Hugs from Sweden. Hugs all the way over to you as well, Anna, from the UK. I'm guessing your climate's colder than mine. Don't know. I've got a friend who lives in Sweden and she posts photos on Facebook of snow. And I think, oh, you can keep that. You can keep that right there. I don't want any part of that. Loves a latte. Thank you so much for the £5. Sure, TBI would have been all over that place that Don's worked at. Yes, he did. They have been there. They have been there. Yeah. I'm so far behind. I'm sorry, guys. I'm just now starting to focus on the super chats because there's so much, and I'm starting to get really overwhelmed now. It's like, oh my God, I'm like so far behind. Thank you, Laurie, for the $10. So enjoy your humour, research, and intelligence. Even though Candice is able to prank, I don't believe that Candice would stand up to scrutiny during a questioning. I agree. I agree. Not necessarily about a polygraph. Polygraphs can be fooled. Polygraphs can be fooled. They're not reliable. They're not admissible in court. But if you pass, then law enforcement, they're using it as a tool, right? If you pass, they've got less leverage. Whereas if you fail, then they can really come down on you. But I think, polygraph aside, I think that Candice would struggle. I think Candice would do what she did on Dr. Phil, like cry and leave and this, that, the other. How do we know she didn't do that with law enforcement? How do we know she didn't just leave? Because she wasn't under arrest. So she didn't have to speak, did she? She can leave anytime she wants. And at the time, in those early days when they took the polygraph, what probable cause did they have to arrest her? So I'd love to have been a fly on the wall. Absolutely loved to have been a fly on the wall in those interview rooms when Don and Candice and Grandma were being interviewed. I would give anything to morph into a fly, go back in time, morph into a fly, and go and sit and listen. Because I think that would have been very, very, very enlightening. Very enlightening. Thank you, Joris, for the $20. Very, very generous. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Love my British accent. We've got a lot of regional accents in the UK. And a lot of people say that they can't understand me. Even people who live in the UK can't understand me. Like people who live down south say they can't understand me. So you're doing well if you could understand me. Thank you so much for the $15. Thank you for your work and sharing my animals. Yeah, you're welcome. I don't know how much they know that they're on camera. I don't think they know. I don't think they care that they're on camera. But yeah, what's Bella trying to do? I don't know what Bella's doing. Don't know. She's kind of standing like staring at me like it's my bedtime. She's saying it's like 7:30. She's like, why are you still talking? Why are you still down here? Because I'm normally upstairs. Why are you still down here? And why do I have to listen to your voice? I want to go to bed. That's what Bella's saying. Thank you so much, Mathenal. I don't know. Thank you for the $5. Carly Trent. I know the Carly Trent case well. Yes, it's a Rogersville case from 2016. So Carly was kidnapped by her uncle. Her uncle had custody of her. No longer had custody of her, but the school had not been informed. They didn't know that he no longer had custody of her, and he went and picked her up from school. They were caught on surveillance buying items that were really strange, like what was it, swimwear? It was certain things that were like really odd. And it was a few days later, was it about 8 days later, they were found camping in the hills, and she's alive, she's fine, and he's in jail, he's in prison. So yeah, very different than Summer's case though. But I am aware of the Carly Trent case. Janet, thank you so much for the $10. Arrests made in Burke County cases. Josie Roman arrested on drug charges, $100,000 bail, reported by Rob Eastwood. There's about 5 million Jose Romans in the US. How do we know it's the right one? And even if it is the right one, I'm going to say, so what? Because what does that mean in relation to Summer? If he's been caught with drugs, dealing drugs, and he's been arrested, so what? But I would need to know why that's relevant, and if it's the right Jose Roman. Oops, I nearly blocked you then. Sorry, Pam. Don't believe Candace is 90. I can't see it either. I can't see it either. I know that I've talked about that a number of times. A lot. The search was a small area in relation to what they took her away from there. I think if she was in that vicinity, was it something like 4.5 mile radius of the property, was searched extensively. I don't think she's there. So yeah, whatever happened to her meant that she was taken away from there. I believe that. The question is who. I think that Ellie had good reasons to believe that she was at least in that area, at least in those early days. I think they had very good reason for knowing that. But is she there now? No, I don't believe she is. I don't believe she is. Let's do Scott H in the house, everyone. I have got a lot of respect for you, Scott. I really enjoy your channel. You put out some really good stuff, and keep on doing what you're doing. And it's great to have that local viewpoint. I've learned a lot from you, Scott. And go and subscribe to Scott's channel if you haven't done. And thank you so much, Scott, for the $10. You are very, very kind. Very kind. Let's have a see. I've come in partway through a conversation here. Maybe Michelle can do some investigating on it. I don't know what. I don't know what should I investigate? I don't know. Is that true? Is that true? They found out that DHS, so CPS, was coming out next day and had to act fast. Where did that come from? Where did that story come from? That CPS was coming that next day? I don't know how that was ever verified, that was even a thing. It could have been. It could have been, but I don't know if it was. So if I don't know, you guys, wouldn't they have tidied up the house more if the CPS was coming? Rather than worrying about squirreling summer away, wouldn't they have been more likely to tidy up the house? You'd have thought. I don't know. I don't know. Thank you so much for the $5. Landy M Storm 19, I think, something like that. You're very welcome. I am live. Don't do them very often, but today was the day. I've got the house to myself, apart from 4 dogs and 2 cats. My son's away for the weekend, so I thought, you know what? I'm going to spend a couple of hours with my friends online and do a live, answer as many questions as I can get to before my brain finally blows away. Thank you, Cassie, for the $3. £3, the £3. You're even in my country. Super sticker. Why don't I believe Dudley? It's not that I don't believe him. I believe that he is telling the truth about certain things, but I don't believe, and it might be that he's just misinformed rather than just lying. That he said some things, certainly to the heels on the ground people. I thought the interview he did with, was it Jay is for Justice, that first interview he did? I think it was. That was a good interview. And I think he told us some really good information about Don, which if I had to choose between Don's truth and Dudley's truth, I'd be more inclined to believe Dudley's side about him, how he was fired and all that. I believe that. Put it this way, I've no reason not to believe it. Let's put it that way. But when he spoke to the heels on the ground, I think there were certain things he said that could not possibly be true. Now, whether that was lies or whether he was just misinformed, I don't know. There was just certain things I thought, no, I don't think that's true. So I'm not disbelieving him. There's just certain things I don't believe are true. But the essence of his story, I did a couple of videos on what Dudley had said. If you look back at the time when those interviews took place, they'll have Dudley in the title, so you should be able to find them. So no, I believe him about the things that are important. Just there's certain things that I wasn't sure about. What is Team Rose? I've no idea what Team Rose is. No idea. No idea. Oh, thank you. Very, very generous. $20. Candice, time to come clean. I think there's more Candice needs to tell. At least law enforcement, if she hasn't done so already. I think there's more. And it's down to that timeline. That's the question. That's the question that I want to know. Ankle tag question. Does anyone know if Don S. Jr. was wearing an ankle tag or not? Or was in the area around the 15th? I would love to know the answer to that question. It's actually two questions. If he's wearing an ankle tag, then that doesn't necessarily move him off my table. Well, I have a table with all my suspects on, right? Suspects who may be absolutely completely innocent, have been cleared by law enforcement. They've just decided not to, not to speak out, and that's their absolute right not to speak out. However, if Don Schaefer Jr. is wearing an ankle tag, then it makes it much less likely that he was ever in that area on the 15th of June and has gone completely under the radar. He couldn't have done it, could he? Unless there's ways, like people say, there's ways to fool ankle tags. I asked the question if there's no reception, like no cell reception, or like what's it working on? Is it working on GPS? I think it's working on GPS. If it's working on GPS, then yeah, they'd know. Law enforcement would know, unless he manages to take it off. Then he's fooled them. I'd like to know whether he's wearing an ankle tag. I would really like to know that question. Somebody said in my comments yesterday that it should be on the bond papers. Like the court documents, it should be on whether, if the judge ordered him to wear an ankle tag. But I've looked online and I don't know where to find that information. It's not on the site where I got the, like his charges and his date of bond and how much his bond was. It's not on there. There's like no clickable links that you can go into. I don't know whether you would have to request that information from the court. I don't know, but I'd love to know the answer. Love to know the answer to that question. I would. Nessa, thank you so much for the $1.99. You, Cassie and Tilly. Hearts, my honesty. Thank you. I'm nearly at the end of the chat now, and I think not got. Just because. Thank you, Geordie Sue. Heart you as well. Thank you. No message, but thank you so much for the $4.99. Paula Art and Music. I've got, there's lots of stuff about milk jugs here in there. I don't want to go down the milk jugs. It makes me mad. Yeah, I'm assuming this is the Carly Trent. Yeah, bathing suit. Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Like a bikini or something. And wasn't it like makeup? It was a bit like, oh, come on. But there is that, there's a little news piece. I think I played it in a video at some point of her looking like really all happy and stuff. And it's like, oh, like rot in hell, whoever it was that kidnapped her. Rot in hell. Oh, thank you, Vanessa. Thank you so much for the $5 Canadian. Thank you, lady. I can't say. I don't know whether it's an A or an O. Lady Fax or Lady Fox, but thank you so much. Why isn't the 911 call being released? Well, there you go. That's a very, very good question. Why are they not? Because it's not like in cases they never release 911 calls, like before the conclusion of a case. It's not that they never do. No, this is the thing. Is it not a customary thing that they do in Tennessee. It might be just a thing that the TBI don't allow. So it might be a Tennessee thing. Or it could be that there's a reason, a very good reason, that they're not releasing those 911 calls because they are an important part of that active investigation. And if it is that, then that's the reason. And they, yeah, I'd love to know. I'd love to know what has been said, though. Love to know. Love to know. Would love it. Like we talked about earlier, that the you know, when the truth does come out, when we do find out the real facts, the full case, I think all of us are going to be really, really surprised what has been revealed. Thank you so much for the 1999, Jackie. You and your dogs are part of my morning every day. Well, unless you're right over on the Pacific coast and was morning when I started this, then I'm sorry to disappoint you this morning, but we will be back tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow. Running around in the woods. Not that we didn't running around in the woods. We did run around in the woods, but I just did it without a camera. Thank you for the $4.99, Debbie. Thank you for your genealogy research. Very interesting and enlightening. I like genealogy. I've been doing genealogy on my own family tree since 2006 was when I started. It was the year my grandma died. And it was just something that I started doing, and I've done ever since. I've been a member of Ancestry all that time. I've got like a massive amount of information about my own family, so I know how to do that kind of research. So when I started to investigate somewhere else and realized that a lot of these families are related, and the culture, like the kind of culture, the way that it's been talked about, like by Scott H, for example, I got a lot of information from Scott, and it reminded me of how this place where I live was, certainly when I was a kid. Not so much now, because a lot of new people have come in, like new housing estates. A lot of the old guard are dead, and you know, it's just it's different now. But under the surface, you don't have to scratch too far under the surface to realize it's not very different. It's not different. Like in my village, there are certain families that if you cut one of them, 20 of them will bleed and 20 of them will come for you. No shade of a doubt. And it will never, it's not something that the law gets involved in. It absolutely isn't, right? Because it's just a thing, right? And so that culture that Scott talked about in those early days, it resonated with me, because it was the area I came from as well. The stories my granddad told me when I was a kid about his family, it made absolute sense. I understood it. I'm 4,000 miles away from those Tennessee hills, and I understood absolutely what type of environment that was, because that's the type of environment that I grew up in when I was little. And scratch that surface and it's still here. It's still here. The majority of people don't know, and it never interferes with their lives. But you cross certain members of a family and you will know about it. You will know. You know, when I was a kid, like pretty much all of like the burglaries, robberies and things like that were controlled by one family. And anybody else came in on a patch, then that was it. There was even a murder. That was related to drugs, but there was a murder in this village. And yeah. So I get it. And we were told that, you know, don't worry, we're not going to burgle you. You're not going to burgle me. You're safe. Like, oh, thanks, geez, thank you so much. When I tried to tell my dad, like, Dad, you don't need to bother locking the door. We're safe. He didn't believe me. I don't get it. But you know that certain people, there's certain people you don't cross, and that the other. So yeah, I got into genealogy because I enjoy it, and I just find it absolutely fascinating, and just the connections that the gods have, and so, oh, there you go, that fits with that, that fits with that, and yeah, it keeps me busy. Thank you, Nessa, for the $2.99 super sticker. Thank you, Paula. Thank you so much for all I do. Thank you. Does Hippie House sell real cowboy? No, I don't think it can, Beverly, because it's not legal, is it? In Tennessee, don't think it's legal. Oh, here we go. Jodie Sue has said DCS was involved and has been back and forth for several weeks prior to the 15th. Candice was waiting on the next visit. We had conversations about it, the traffic at the bottom, etc. Okay, so yeah, I knew they were involved. I just don't know whether the 16th of June was the day that they were going to come, and yeah, but that's good to know. I think the whole day is false. Fake. The whole day is fake. I'm not even going to ask you what you mean by fake. Are the things we're not being told? Probably. Yes. But I don't think the whole day is fake. No more than any other day being fake. I mean, let's get metaphysical. Let's say, well, what is reality? We're all fake. We're all living in an illusion. But back down to earth. Thank you so much, Amanda, for the $5. Do I believe summer got gone before the 15th of June? I don't believe that. I've toyed with the idea of it being a possibility. I don't believe so. I think they'd have moved. I think law enforcement would have moved in sooner, by now at least, if they knew that, if they had reason to believe that summer got gone before the 15th. I kind of think that she must have been seen on surveillance. For the TBI, for Leslie Earhart from the TBI to stand up and publicly make that statement that Summer was last seen outside of her home in the afternoon of the 15th of June leads me to believe that they know that was when Summer was last seen. I don't think they would have said that. If there was a doubt about the timeline, I believe that the TBI would have said something more like what the police involved in the Cody Bigsby disappearance have said. That they'd have said they want information from, like they've said, they want information from Christmas about who's seen Cody's dad, who's seen Cody, like the whereabouts, where he goes, where he shops, who his friends are. The police chief listed off a whole list of things that they wanted because they did not believe like Corey's version of events. And they came out from day one and said that. So I don't think the TBI is any different. I think if the TBI knew that Summer, or at least if the TBI have said very clearly that she was last seen outside of her home on the 15th of June, I think they have information that she was alive and well on the 15th of June. I don't think they've just taken Candice's word for that. I think they have some information about that. I could be wrong. The TBI could be really bad at their investigation, but I don't think so. And if it was originally said, like on the 16th of June, if it was originally said that she was last seen outside of her home on the 15th of June, based on Candice's story, I think they would have changed that. Like with new information, I think they would have changed that and said, look, we're actually looking now for information as to Summer's whereabouts from the whatever, from the beginning of June or whatever, right? So yeah, I am confident that she got gone on the 15th of June. The milk jugs photo was taken at 3:09 on the 15th of June, 3:09 p.m. on the 15th of June. That photo was sent to the channel unmasked, so they should be able to see when that photo was taken. So, but I'm not relying on that. People just think that I'm relying on that photo, that one photo. I'm not. I'm relying on what the TBI have said about that. I don't believe after 8 months that the TBI has still got that so wrong. So that's my belief. So contemplated it, disregarded it. Are we all wrong? Maybe. I don't know, but I don't think so. Don't think so on that one. Thank you so much for the $20, Mississippi Girl. Mississippi Girl. Thank you for the $20. Right, I think I'm all the way through my super chatties now. So I'm going to pick some questions from the chat. And I'm going to do another 15 minutes and then I'm going to call it, because my little brain can't do longer than 2 hours, honestly. I'm going to pick some good questions from the chat. So get any last questions in. If you've asked a question and I've scrolled by it, then feel free. Yes, it was taken. According to the channel Unmasked, Candice sent that photo to Unmasked. That video has come from Unmasked. Every play it's ever come, like, it's been copied from Unmasked's channel. Like, it wasn't uploaded onto Candice's TikTok or anything like that. It was uploaded onto Unmasked's channel. It's like 7 seconds or something. I don't know whether I could find it again now. I know Unmasked has taken down some of the videos, but that's where that came from. So it would have had the time. Now, obviously, you can fool the metadata, but you have to know how to do it. So I'm confident. I'm confident that it was. Yeah. I mean, I've got all of those early press conferences on my second channel, Michelle Walks. Yeah, the new outfit someone was dressed in on that day. Is that the day she disappeared? Yeah. Yeah. That kind of tracksuit. Yeah. Don't mention the milk jugs. I know. Step away from the milk jugs. Step away from the milk jugs. Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Can we make this a weekly thing? I'm not going to promise. Excuse me. Although in the old days, before I got COVID, I tended to do Sundays on my other channel, and then maybe one night in the week. But I don't know. Live streams not really my thing. I mean, I like doing them. But I prefer videos more. I prefer the whole process of the videos more. I like doing the research for the video, the filming the videos. My least nice good thing, but yeah, I use a dog walk for that. And I like the editing. I like editing. I can just sit there and numb out, and it's just a brain. I enjoy it. I like that process of making recorded videos more so than I do live streaming. So I don't think you're going to ever see this channel becoming a live stream channel, and you can have a nice welcomed surprise every now and again when I decide to go live. Check maps for beyond 238 Ben Hill Road. Yeah, the road turns into a track, which turns into like some kind of path, and it goes way up into the mountain. So yeah, that's. Do I think Summer is still in a purple dress in the pic Candice posted at 6:09 on the 15th? No, that wasn't. Just because she posted that photo doesn't mean to say that was when it was taken. She could have had that photo for a week, 2 weeks, a month. We don't know when that photo was taken. That's, you got to make the distinction between when it was taken and when it was posted. So the question you should be asking is, why was Candice posting on social media when Summer was allegedly missing? Now, was it, people have questioned whether it was 6:09 or 5:09 or whenever, that there's a possibility there was actually 5 or something, in which case they may not have, they didn't know Summer was missing at that point, which is then begs the question, well, if she didn't know Summer was missing at that point, what was she doing? She was on her phone, she was playing on her phone, and her kids were outside, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with kids going playing outside. When I was a kid, I was all over the woods. My mother didn't know where I was, right? You know, a little bit older than Summer, not 5, but maybe 8, 9. I was down there miles away, going under underground tunnels that go under all the roads, like exploring all the tunnel networks. Like we'd see like rats swimming and like be like trying to catch these rats swimming. I mean, honest to God, you know, that's where I was, and it's like knee deep, sometimes waist deep in really minging water with rats swimming by. That's where I spent my days when I was like in the summer holidays, when I wasn't that much older than Summer. My mother would have killed me if she knew where I'd been, right? When I was 8, 9, 10. But as I got older, I got braver and braver and braver. Nobody should deny a kid going playing out, especially when it's on their property. That's part of being a kid. So the fact that Candice didn't know where her kids were because she knew they were out playing, well, I've not got a problem with that, as long as she knew that they were in the vicinity, right? But why did she lie about that? Why have Don and Candice been so adamant that Summer would not wander further than a swing? Why are they so worried about saying she went to play out with her brothers? I don't understand why that would be a problem. Maybe that's just me. But anyway, so if Candice was posting at 5 something and she didn't know Summer was missing, well, that's fair enough. If it really was 6 something, then that's a big problem. Thank you so much. Eudora's Mama's Garden, 19.99 super sticker. Thank you. You are being incredibly generous. I think people are just so surprised that I'm live, that everybody's just like, oh my God, Michelle's live. Any word on the footprints? No. The footprints, the reason why I believe that the footprints are a real thing is because Dave Rader talked about them, and several local sources have also talked about them. So in the first week of, could I get it up? In the very first week that Summer disappeared, one of the neighbours posted on social media about the footprints on his property. And he got so abused that he took it down. He took the post down. There was a few. I'm just going to show you one that I've got access to. Like, people took screenshots of them. Share screen. Tiny screen. Go on, sure, do it. Right. Right, can you see that? I don't know whether you can see that or not. Can you see that? I'll scroll down to the bottom. If you can't see anything except for my desktop and you can't see the picture, then I don't know what to tell you. But can you see that? Cannot read it. I'll read it. As long as you can see it, I'll read it. So this is a screenshot that was taken. So I was informed by deputies to make sure when I post anything, to make sure I explain it in full detail. So this wasn't the first post he'd made. So there's no way anybody could misinterpret it. Someone got confused over me calling a footprint physical evidence and blew their phone lines up thinking it was new evidence. So I'm being very precise here. 2 footprints, child size, barefoot, not my kids' prints, 1 on my land. So 1 set of footprints on my land, 1 on a neighbour's that does not want their name or location mentioned. So we've only got the approximate locations of these footprints, right? This neighbour, I know where he lives. I've got my little map that I've put markers in, pins in, but I've dropped them on the property markers, and then the scent alert marker that I've put near the creek, I've just dropped it down. I don't know where it was, that scent alert. I just know that it's been said that there is one, right? But I'm certainly not going to say this guy's name or his address because he doesn't want it, right? So I do not want my location shown either. There we go. Search dogs barked on my land. Deputy asked me questions about my kids' shoe sizes. I asked if the dog's barking meant it was her scent. He said yes. Said it had to be a recent print left after she disappeared. Now, you've got to remember that those search dogs only went out. They didn't go out the night. They didn't find these on the night Summer disappeared, right? This was a few days later. And we know that from Dave Rader, which we'll come on to. Said it had to be a recent print. Informed him, my kids never go barefoot in the woods. Prints were about 3/4 of a mile or so apart. So the prints on his land and then on a neighbour's land, about 3/4 of a mile apart. The print was in my yard, was behind a ridge, so not where we would have seen anyone. So it was somebody walking along, right, that Summer dropped some prints, right, knowing where to walk. That's my interpretation. Next print was further up a ridge near another neighbour's house. Not sure which print was left first, so no clue direction she was going. So for me, right, that's one clue, right? That's one clue, right, guys? I've got another one, which I think was the first one. I'll show you that while we're here. Okay. This is in response to someone else. Yes, a barefoot child's footprints that the dogs identified her scent in my woods and a neighbour's woods. So no other scent or footprints were found. Just my opinion with nothing else to base on. But that sounds like she was being carried and was set down to make it through a rough area. You would expect more prints if she was walking. Search crews have been all over my land for several days before the footprints were found. So there was already plenty of adult footprints. So they'd already been through. They'd already been through once before a dog alerted. So that's why they took I'm going to show you my map. While we're here, why don't we do it? Got all this crap. Right, I'm just going to stop that for a sec. Right, while I find it. Where's my thingy gone? I want to make sure I get the right map. Right. Okay. Okay. All right. So this is my map. These are just rough, right? I've just dropped these pins on the property markers, right? I've no idea whether the footprints were here or here or here, right? They're just examples, right? But it's in this vicinity, right? So this was the area that in December, beginning of December, when they came back, right, to search again, there was an aeroplane flying over and over and over this area. There's a little video of it that the TBI released, over and over and over this area, just to see if they'd missed anything from June. They concentrated on this area. Now, this scent alert here, right? I got this from I think it was Cracking Cases, but Fred Hill also said there was a scent alert. I don't believe most of what Fred said, but anyway, I've put it in as a possible, right? A possible, and it doesn't mean it's here. That's just in that area, around the creek area, right? Down, I'm trying to represent further down Ben Hill Road than the creek that runs up here somewhere, right? And then I've got a pin for the dog trail, a pin for Jodie Sue's cabin if I want to talk about the scream. That's again rough, just drop the pins in. So there you go. Right, so that gives you like a visual. And all of this is like, that's about 0.8 of a mile from 110 Ben Hill Road down here is about 0.8 of a mile. But obviously it could be up here, could be up here, could be a bit further, could be a bit less. And there is one higher up on a ridge. So probably this one, because this is a high ridge. I did a video where I went on Google Earth. It's called, I think it says On Summers Mountain or something in the thumbnail. So from a month ago, maybe between a month and 6 weeks ago. So look back, and I went on Google Earth and I looked at all like the elevations and how steep that ridge is there. You can't see it from this 2D view, but this is really steep. Like it goes up dead steep up here. So you'd struggle to believe if this really was on a ridge that this, excuse me, that a 5-year-old would struggle to get up there. However, you could go this way, so I think that's less steep. Anyway, I'm not arguing about how these footprints got there. I'm just saying that yes. And the other thing that I think that has actually convinced me that this is real is Dave Rader talked about it as well. You know, Dave Rader from EquiSearch. So not a neighbour, not somebody who may have heard something or maybe pranking, nothing like that. Dave Rader, right, from EquiSearch, talked about this on Police Off the Cuff. I've got a couple of minute clip in a video. It has Dave Rader in the title. So again, you can go to that video and find it. Again, from about a month ago, maybe. Or you can go to Police Off the Cuff's channel and find their videos of Dave Rader, where Dave Rader was being interviewed. And he said, right, that he got into town on the Saturday night. So Summer went missing on the let me think, the Tuesday. He got into town on a Saturday night. He started doing kind of searches on the Sunday, so less than a week, like 4 or 5 days. On that Saturday night when he got into town, all the search crews were out because that was when a footprint had been alerted on. So it was the Saturday that one of these prints was alerted on. And they scrambled, they threw everything at it, thinking Summer had been lost in the woods for like 4 days. And he said that he's heard from the search crews that this is what was happening on that night. And they searched through the night to try and find her because they thought she was lost in the woods. They thought this was going to be like, you know, a life and death, that she'd been there for 4 days and she was lost. But they didn't find her because she'd already gone, allegedly, probably. But the search crews were so adamant that they knew, they were so sure that that's what they did. They went through the night, according to Dave Rader. And I'm going to believe Dave Rader, right? Well, Dave Rader's not going to come online and lie, is he? Right? Very reputable search agency. So I believe Dave Rader. Now, he said something like, can't vouch the truthfulness of this because, like, he wasn't actually there. This is what the search crews told him on the Sunday, that this is what they've been doing all night. But why would they lie? They're not going to lie and tell Dave Rader they found a footprint when they didn't. That's stupid. They're going to do that, are they? So, yes, I do believe the footprints are real. I do believe they're real. I do believe that the search crews truly thought they were Summers because they know their possibility that kids do get lost in the woods. They know how good their search dogs are. So Summer, I believe Summer was there. I believe Summer was there. And it's going to take a lot to convince me that she wasn't. But we could all be wrong. We could all be wrong, right? We could all be wrong. Okay. Oh, dear. COVID in May and I still got a cough, you know. Got long COVID. Long COVID. Right, I missed some... I'm going to go back just a little bit. If I've missed a super chat, I'm so sorry. But just know that I'm so thankful that people have been so kind. Thank you for the Canadian dollars, $13.99. Sharon, thank you so much. Canada's on my bucket list. I want to visit Canada. I don't know why. I just do. I don't know anyone in Canada. Well, only like YouTubers. Oh, hell. Katie, thank you for the £5. My money. My granddad was in prison 25 years for 2 murders. No evidence the police will ever get you. No evidence. The police will get you if they want you. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Well, we get lots of miscarriages of justice, don't we? Don't we? Lots of them. Thank you so much for the $19.99. Candace might lie to Don because of the call about the creepy guy. Why do you think Ellie has not given credibility to the scented footprints verified by Dave Rader? I don't think. I think possibly I'll answer that first one. There's 2 questions there. So I think Candace could well have lied to Don. I think she could have lied saying she was 2 minutes. She'd only been missing 2 minutes when actually it was 2 hours because maybe she's scared of Don. She doesn't want to. We know that is a violent relationship, or at least it has the potential to be. It's certainly a toxic relationship at the very least. Can Candice own her own in a fight? Probably. But I think that she's not gonna want to piss Don off, right? Look, what Donna said, you know, you got to make sure that you look after Summer. She's my baby, she's my angel, she's my whole world. Can you imagine if Candice admitted to Don that she'd took her eyes off Summer for 2 hours and gone to sleep or gone high or whatever? How do you think Don would have reacted? How do you think he would have reacted? So yes, I do think she lied to Don. And I think that was for self-preservation. Just my opinion. Just my opinion. I think that law enforcement haven't come out and talked about those scent alerts because they're part of the investigation. I think they're part of the investigation. So although people are able to talk about them, just like Don was able to talk about the dog trail, and then Sheriff Lawson said, yeah, there was a scent alert down there. I think he said the driveway, but Don made up the dog trail, whichever. Yeah, there was scent on the property. I'm less enamored by scent alerts being found on the property because Summer's scent was everywhere on that property. And there's the scent pooling and stuff that can confuse dogs, and wind and environment and changing surface area and stuff like that can confuse dogs. I've got a few videos on search dogs if you look them up. So I think it's all part of the investigation, and I think that the police, the law enforcement, the TBI, I think they're keeping everything close to the vest as much as they can, and I respect them for that. I mean, especially given they know that this is such an high-profile case, and whatever they say, you know, people are going to tear it apart, going to run wild with it, whatever. So I think they're keeping everything close to the vest, and I think that's probably a good idea for now. Thank you so much for becoming a member, Kim. That's very appreciated. I don't know the answer to that. I do not know the answer to that. It's never even occurred to me to ask that question. It's a good question. I don't know. Cam from a tent on the ridge. Cam from Cracking Cases, yeah, said that they'd found evidence of a camp on that ridge, on that very ridge where those footprints have been. Now, that's just someone camping. That could just be someone unknown to the property owner. It could be kids going up there camping. So it might not have anything to do with the disappearance of Summer at all. Although it's interesting that it was close to those footprints. It's interesting, but I need more information. Yes, it is. It is where Cracking Cases found those commentaries. It's exactly on that ridge. Cam didn't show the exact location, but he just kind of used his mouse around it, and yes, very close to those footprints on the ridge. As I said when I showed that map, I'll show it again. Have I got it still up? Probably. Here we go. This one. This is where the ridge is. All like along here. This is steep along here. If you look on Google Earth. Google Earth doesn't always get it right. Right? It doesn't always get it right, but it's steep. Right? We're not going to quibble about how many 100 feet it is, right, above sea level. It's just steep, right? But yeah, and I don't know whether this footprint was here or here or here. That's just a property marker. But Cam moved his mouse around here somewhere. So, yeah, same ridge, yeah. Same ridge. Right, I'm going to just do another 5 minutes because my brain is fried. And like half an hour ago, I said 15 minutes. So, you know, Dave Rader. Yay. Dave's cool. I really like Dave. Police off the cuff. I like them, yeah. I don't always watch everything they do. But if they've got an interview like Dave, yeah, definitely watch. So, yeah, I have a couple of minutes. just a couple of minutes of a segment from one of their shows on a video. It says Dave Raider in the title. Burnley in the house. Hey, Burnley's not too far from me. Not too far from me at all. Thank you so much, Michelle, for a great name as well. Great name, by the way. Thank you for the, is that Australian dollars? $4.49. If those footprints are confirmed, I'm back to the Sherfies. Well, you know, Sherfies on the table, but if he's got an ankle tag, guys, I'm going to leave off him and let law enforcement deal with it. But I want to know if he's got an ankle tag. I want to know if he's got an ankle tag. I'm not saying they're confirmed. They've not been confirmed by law enforcement. However, I'm confident that Dave Raider is not going to lie. And the search crews who talked to Dave Raider are also not going to lie. Plus, we've got the local people saying, this was on my land. So, yes, they searched all the land. They did search Geordie Sue's. They searched all the land. All the land. Every single piece of land. I mean, they did a comprehensive search, something like 4.5-mile radius. And where they couldn't go, right, where they couldn't go, they have like aerial technology. So they have drones, helicopters, then an aeroplane flying around in December, which has got heat-seeking technology. It's, you know, it can see things that human eyes can't. It's possible she was missed. It's possible, but it's unlikely given the amount of effort they put in and the amount of technology they took. The manpower, the canine power, and the technological power they put in. And how can she be there in that 4.5-mile radius? You know, heat-seeking technology, it can detect a dead body underground for at least for a certain amount of time because the dead body's releasing gas, which creates heat. So it even creates a signal when the body's underground. I don't know how far underground, if you buried them 10 foot or 20 foot underground, would it still give a heat signal? I don't know. I can't answer that. But certainly if it's a shallow grave, or a dead body on top of the ground, like down a ravine, it's gonna get it. It's gonna get it. I mean, I've heard like this, like sinkholes, caves, things like that. I don't know. Yeah, we've had sinkholes open up in Manchester, like 30 miles away. We've had sinkholes. So, you know, we had a sinkhole in the middle of Manchester. It wasn't deep, but still, you know. So, yeah, sinkholes happen. Like in mining areas and areas where the geology's been upset, sinkholes happen. Caving system. I don't know enough about the terrain to know. But all of those things are there on the table. But I'm so confident in their search crews that they've done their very best. They've done their very best. So if she was there, I think they would have found her. Mr. Chuckles, thank you so much for the $2. Faithful sub since July. Wow, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. Canada is wonderful. I'm sure it is. I'm going to go there one day. I'm not going to tell you that I'm going. I'm just going to go. And I'm going to like turn up like, hi, I'm in Canada. Look at me. Probably would be like being eaten by a bear or something. You know, like we don't have bears in our country. We don't have coyotes. We don't have wolves. We don't have poisonous snakes. We do have one species of poisonous snake, but I've never seen one, and they're very shy. So you know, but yeah. So I'm not used to like. You know, I'd be walking through Canada like completely like, oh, this is a nice area. I'm going to go walk in here and I get eaten by a bear or a wolf or something. Knowing me. Knowing my luck. Knowing my luck. Right, I'm going to call it here, guys. I'm just going to double check. Oops. Thank you so much, Patty, for becoming a member of the Secret Agents Club. And thank you again. I've seen you, Kim. Have you sent me something else? Or have I doubled up and doubled back? But if you sent me the second one, thank you so much, Kim. Right, I think I'm done. We've just talked about that about 10 minutes, 15 minutes ago. So if you rewind, I answered that question. Someone else asked it. I went to town and back and I'm still here. I know. I said it was going like half an hour ago and I'm still here. But I am going to go now. Oh, I've seen Sherfy's name. Sherfy Jr. would not have an ankle monitor because he has not gone to court for the charges yet. That's not well. People have said that. Now, is that a Tennessee thing, or because people do go out on bond and have an ankle tag, right? Barry Morphew is out on bond in Colorado with an ankle tag on him that isn't working allegedly, or something. There's some dramas going on with Barry Morphew. People can be ordered by the judge to have an ankle tag as a condition of their bond. So with Sherfy's being child P, wouldn't he be? I don't know. I just love to know if anybody can get their hands on the court documents. So what we want is his bond conditions. Right, that's what we want. I can't find them. If somebody can find them, if somebody knows where to look or who to ask, if somebody can send me them, that'd be great. Because I want that's a burning question. He might be totally innocent. Sherfy might have nothing to do with it. I just need to push him off my table. I need to move away from him. Push him off my table. Forget about him. But until I know he's got an ankle tag, it's gonna wear away in my brain. Okay, I know you're signing off, but just wanted to say I love your channel. Thank you, NBT, for the $4.99. Thank you. And I'm gonna go now. Oh God, where was John Light? I don't know who John Light is. I'm guessing you're gonna mean Frank Light. He's an RSO. It does say in the TBI update from November that all RSOs in the area have been questioned. So presumably Frank Light has got an alibi that the TBI have been happy with. I don't know. But he's been questioned. We do know that. I'm going now before anybody else asks me anything else or I get sidetracked by, oops, where's it gone? Shifty Sherfy. On that note, I'm going. Okay, thank you so much for the conversation, keeping me company tonight. I'll be back in my usual spot somewhere in the woods tomorrow. Thank you, everybody who's been really, really, really generous with super chats and super stickers, and welcome to all the new members of the Secret Agents. And I'll see you very soon. Bye, guys.